perfection, beauty and affection. Woman, you're divine. You have the shade to heal mankind. Created divine. We have the shade to lift mankind. Woman, you're divine. We have the shade to heal mankind. Created divine. We have the shade to lift mankind.
Good evening to one and all, and welcome to the Feminine Drive. How your Friday going so far? Or I should say, how it was, right? Because you're home now. For those of you who went to work today, you're home, you're kicked back, you're relaxing. Hope you had a good day today. All right. Last week on the Feminine Drive, it was a free conversation. We did not zero in on any specific topic. And I said this week, we will talk about who we are as women, not the physical, not the sexy and who have nice shape. And we're going deeper than that, who we are, right? But before we get into the meat of the show, I have something to share with you. Right? From a fellow sister and a performance artist as well. Right? You know the name Maria Bola? I am sure you do. I am so sure. So many songs that Maria Bola give to us. But what I want to share with you this evening is some work from Maria Bola's business. So let me tell you a bit before I bamboozle your eyes with such beautiful artwork. Maria has this business called Sparty, which is a mobile spa. And you might be saying, but mobile spa? Right, mobile. So that what she does is she brings the spa to you. She would use different venues, right? And she will bring that spa to you with all her professional people, whether it's nail tech, makeup artists. So in other words, the service come in and meet you. And I know Trinidadians like that. We hate really to go here and to go there. We like the service to come to us. So she been doing this for a while. And then she told me she went to this sip and paint. Her friends took her out for her birthday last year. And she was so blown away by it, she said, nah. She came back home and she said, nah, boy. It felt so good. She relaxed. She was able to meet new friends, to laugh, as we would say, let your hair down. So Maria decided, you see this? Nah, I could bring something out of this, my own flavor to it. And she has what we call the paint spa. Some of you may have visited her or may have gone to the paint spa. I am yet to go, I'm yet to go, yes. And she probably on the live now and saying, yes, warrior, you're yet to come to the spa. So she has the paint spa going on. Well, before the restrictions, the COVID restrictions, persons would go to her home where she would, make everything nice and comfy, and you laugh and you talk and you have a little drink. And if you know Maria, that is real fun, right? If you know anything about Maria Bola, just go back and listen to her songs and you would understand what I mean. As she would say, we paint sometimes. Although the objective is to paint, she say, sometimes we just paint. But all in all, you're having fun. And in this COVID time, people want to relax. People want to just exhale. Right? You don't have to be an artist, a professional painter. They have professional tutors that would guide you along. Right? So, given the COVID restrictions, she had to go virtual. So we know everything is virtual. So Maria had to go virtual with the paint spa. So which means you are doing it home in your house and she's given the instructions, right? So on the 24th, which is Republic Day, Maria is having an event. It's called the Family Fun Glow. So it's an event for family. It's a family package. Family Fun Glow. Whether your family is you and your man, or you and the husband, if you want to legally put the title, or you and the whole string band of children. Family Fun Glow. Visit her page on Facebook, Paint Spa, and you'll get all the details with price, everything. Just go to her page on Facebook, Paint Spa. But that's going to be a wonderful event come Republic Day. Because, you know, it's a public holiday and you're probably thinking, well, you know, what to do? How we doing this thing? Remember, it's virtual, huh? But go to the page and you will get all the instructions. It's a family package. Added to that, Paint Spa, they don't only paint. What she said to me is, you know, Warrior, I always want to give back. Right? It's always good to give back. Doesn't matter how much. You give what you could afford, but you see giving back, right? Some people call it a thanksgiving. Whatever name you want to ascribe, it is always good to give back to the community. And she recognized that, you know, yes, you see this COVID time, a lot of people doing what they need to do to keep their heads above the water, right? They're raising funds in different ways. For example, I got a WhatsApp today where somebody was asking me if I can, they would like a contribution for some children that need laptops. We know right now that's the pressing issue. Parents have to get laptops for their kids, right? For their children. And I receive a WhatsApp message from more than one person asking if I can, whether it's old laptops that I'm not using or cash, some form of contribution. Now, there are those who are going to have fundraisers. And from the time you hear fundraisers, you're thinking barbecue, curry queue. Well, hear what? And nothing wrong with that. Let me tell you something. You see this COVID time? It ain't no shame. And who shame? Shame gone out the door. Shame gone out the door right now in COVID. It's a serious time we're living in, and you need to do what you have to do. Except hold up people. Don't hold up nobody and don't rob nobody. Don't outsmart nobody. No fraudulent activities. But do what you have to do to survive. Right? It's the real deal. This is no dress rehearsal. Things get different, and so we have to also adjust. So those who are having fundraisers, who are thinking of fundraisers, hear what Maria doing for you. Or hear what Paint Spa doing for you. You just have to print your tickets and sell your tickets. And Paint Spa is going to do the rest. You want me to repeat? Just print your tickets and sell your tickets, and Paint Spa will do the rest. Yes. So if you're having a curry queue, the bus up shot and the chana and the mango, and that is not your worries. That will be Paint Spa worries. You just sell your tickets, right? You're having a barbecue, and let me tell you, from experience, barbecue is plenty work. Plenty, right? Paint Spa will take care of that for you. Yeah, right? Now, again, contact Maria, and she will make the necessary arrangements with you. You all will talk. Whatever arrangement, contact Maria at 344-9898. Let me repeat that number. 344-9898, or visit Paint Spa Facebook page. Right? What you want better than that? So you're getting help more than half the way. You just organize your tickets, organize your crew, and you're inside. Fundraisers are good, eh? Fundraisers are good. Don't sit down there and say, oh gosh, and you hear what I tell you, no shame thing. Fundraisers, parents who looking for the funds for the laptops, even though the taxes removed, I know it's still hard for some of y'all to come up with the money. I know. Do a little fundraiser, all right? So let me show you some of the stuff from Paint Spa, right? Me make sure stand for long, don't laugh, eh? So, look at this, right? Remember I told you you don't have to be an artist. She has professional tutors on spot to guide you, right? So this is just one sample. Here we have another one. Now when I look at this, oh gosh, this is just sunshine and energy. When you look at this, it's so bright and nice, right? So imagine you're into the atmosphere where everybody just expressing and it's a glow in the dark thing, eh? So, oh gosh, listen, I want to talk all the thing too much. I want you to go. I want you to get on Paint Spa's page and contact Maria Bola and make your arrangement. Listen, with all that's going on around us, we need to de-stress, you know, right? We need to laugh a little bit. We really need to take it down, right? Here we have another example, another sample, sorry, right? Really, really nice stuff. Look at this. So you don't only paint, right? Fashion designing, look at that. Let me show you my favorite. Watch at this. Right? Yes. So this is the kind of thing going down at Paint Spa. Really, really nice. Real artistic. We have this as well. Right? Really nice. Good stuff. So, contact Maria 344-9898. I believe that's her WhatsApp number as well. So you can WhatsApp her, right? These sessions are 2 hours long. 2 hours. Let me tell you something. 2 hours ain't no time when you're having fun. 2 hours ain't no time when you're having fun. You might say, oh, go so long? That ain't long. Especially if you're doing it with your family, right? Everybody having fun. Mommy, daddy, kids, or if it's you and your children alone, or you and the significant other. When you're having fun, you'll see how fast that 2 hours will fly. September 24th, she's having the family fun. That fun Paint Spa session. Contact her, don't forget. Okay? So, you know the time does fly. I couldn't believe last week the hour was up like, whoa. You know, I couldn't believe. So, let me get straight into it. So we said, besides the physical aspect of women, right? We need to know who we are. We need to know who we are. And by that I mean, how do you value yourself? Where does your value system come from? Now, we were all brought up differently, right? Religion played a big part in our lives. And I really want to go down that road, right? Remember I said last week, do what works for you. Do what works for you. There are some people who don't believe there is a divine creator. That's your right, you're entitled to that. You are still a female, and I would still interact with you, nevertheless. So, our value system, we pull it from different places, right? We were brought up differently, different values. That today, the value system that I was brought up on, some people might laugh at me today, especially the younger generation, and call me old-timeish, right? They might really laugh at me, right? I'm saying that and my son popped into my head, but I will leave that for next session. So they might call me old-timeish because of my value system, right? And I'll give you just one example. And that's why I say my son popped in my head. For me, I don't subscribe to sleepovers in terms of my children and their companion coming to sleep over in my house. I don't subscribe to that. They could bring them, they come for a Sunday, they have lunch, all them kind of thing. But you see the sleepover part, I don't know, I ain't wrapped my head around that yet. Mommy, you know, you bring your woman, you bring your man or my girlfriend, and nah. Right? Call me old-timeish if you wish, but that is settled with me yet. So that is just an example. And you know, of course, my children, they just can't see eye to eye with they can't understand. Mommy wrong with you? It's not back in your time, you know. You know, so that is what I mean by value system. We have different value system. And some things I am not willing to throw through the window. You know, I told a friend the other day, I say, you know, Amtas, we get too modern. We get too modern and all the value system, we throw it through the window. You know, they say we old-timers, so we get too modern. That's why we're in so much of problems now. Some of the things that our elders taught us, that our ancestors taught us, we throw it through the window. Right? We're too bright. That's why we're in a lot of problems today. So, the value system, as I said, it helped mold a lot of us as women. But look who we are speaking about, our roles and functions. And that and all could have a little, it could have some people answer, again, based on where you sit in this life. But I'm talking about when you look at a female or when you talk about a woman, you talk about the nurturing energy, right? You talk about that energy to build, to nurture. Now, if you are a biological mother, that comes with the territory, right? That nurturing spirit to take care of. You have offsprings. You are a mother. You give birth to a child or children. So that energy to nurture, it's in you. It's natural. You ever look at animals when they give birth? Nobody taught the dog or the cow, or I'm using females, right? How to nurse. But look at the animals. And as soon as they give birth, it's like it's an automatic action. They tend to the young ones. Right? Look at it properly. They would lick the whatever remains, you know, right? They would clean them off. Nobody can teach them that. But it's a natural nurturing, mothering instinct. And women have that. Females have that. We have that naturally. Now, there are women who never give birth, and they have that in them. I know people who never give birth to any children. They don't have any children, and they take care of children as if they would have carried that child for 9 months. And I'm sure you all know people like that. They never got pregnant. They never give birth to any child. But let me tell you something. As some people would say, they're doing better than women who carry the child for 9 months. Because it is a natural element of us to nurture. Right? That is who we were placed within this physical realm, who we were placed to be. Mothers. Whether biological, spiritual, or otherwise, we are mothers. When you get pregnant, after you give birth, your mammary glands secrete milk and you feed. But look at that in another light as well, where there are those, as I said, who extend that nourishment to others. And I'm not talking about the breast milk here, no, the physical breast milk, nourishment, right? Whether it is upliftment, motivating. I would like to believe that I sit in a position where I am giving some form of nourishment to you, right? So that is what we carry. That's what we carry. We can't hide from it. Watch a little girl in a home, right? When you're growing up, you want to play housewife, you want to play mommy and daddy, that natural mother instinct, right? Watch little children play. It's natural in them. So we have that nurturing energy in us. It's not something that we go and we take surgery to put in. However, we have to build on it. So even though you were created with that energy, that is where the ancestors and the elders come in. Long ago, right, the elders were more active in the lives of women. They were more active. They would teach them how to cook, teach them how to take care of the home, right? I'm not saying it doesn't take place, and I'm sure that it still takes place in certain homes. But my observation, I think we kind of fall back where that is concerned, right? You see where that whole mentoring and taking charge of the younger females, the older heads, taking charge and putting them on that right path, I think we kind of fall back there. Now, some people will say, but warrior, them young people now, they want to learn nothing, you know. They're rude, and you can't tell them nothing, and they feel they know, and... All right. I remember, yes, as my mother say, you feel you're fresh, you're smelling yourself. All of us, we getting big, so we feel we know. But we don't know, right? We don't know, and they don't know. They feel they're big. They feel they're big. I did feel I big too. And we always go back to the things that our parents taught us, and oh gosh, if I did listen to my mother, boy, if I did listen. So, we who have experience and know that experience is the teacher. The ones, we have to have patience, and I said that last week Friday. We need to have patience. It might be easier said than done. But we need to have patience because they don't know. So we need to embrace the young females. We need to teach them, right? Listen, this might sound funny, but in certain cultures, and I know it was done, and probably still is done on the motherland, right? When women are being prepared to take a husband, they are schooled, you know. In other words, how to keep your man. Yeah, they are schooled. They are taught certain things that I wouldn't discuss on this edition, but we'll get into that. They are taught certain things because all of that is preparing them, you know, for wifely duties and mother duties, etc. Right? I talk about nurturing. We have that natural essence in us. We are natural mothers as well. We even like to, some men that say, you feel like your child. We find ourselves even mothering men. We in a relationship, and men often accuse us as, like, well, you feel like my mother. I think we don't mean any harm, you know. Again, it's just a natural thing with us. We want to see everything all right. You know, we want to make sure, hey, you had breakfast yet? Eat your food now, look at getting cold. And then they would say, oh gosh, you feel like your son now, you know? But I laugh. But really, that is who we are. Besides taking care of our children who we give birth to, that's who we are. That's who we are. That's who we are. We can't help ourselves, right? Women, I like to say in my belief system, right? We say women have the ashe, A-S-E. And what that really is we have the power. We were given that energy. As I would say, we have what it takes to do and undo in this universe. Let me just sum it up as that, yeah. We have what it takes to do and undo. We are magical beings. A woman has so much of influence. We are seductive. You know, we sensual. But, again, like everything else, you could use what you have negatively, or you could use it positively. I would encourage you to use it positively. Yeah? You would oftentimes hear people, men especially, say, boy, a woman can get a man to do anything. And we might listen to that and feel, well, that is just a by the way saying. That is not by the way saying, you know. That is a factual statement. That is, if we was to go back to the creation story as it pertains to the Bible or Christians, right? The Christian people will tell you what Eve did to Adam, the influence Eve had to Adam. And as I said, as it pertains to the Christian belief system, what Eve did to Adam. So, from the beginning of time, according to that creation story, women were always influential. We were created with that charisma. Now, not all women, as I said last week, have that mushy, powder puff, kind of, everybody have a different personality. But that doesn't take away from the fact who you are and the energies that you embody. Some women are firm, and I told you some people find I am firm. I could be firm, but I can also be very soft, right? But generally, I was a little tomboy. I grew up rough. Only child. No brothers, no sisters. So how you want me grow up? Only child. Had to fend for myself. And I used to fend for my cousin. And I used to fight in school for my cousins. So, I grew up tough, right? But as they say, age brings reason. And you drop off some of the ways and you realize you don't necessarily have to be so abrasive and so confrontational, etc. Right? So that is personalities. But that have nothing to do with who we were created as, with women, as women, right? Similarly, we have some cultures that treat women less than desire. Let's say the Middle Eastern bloc, right? We heard stories, and it's actually factual, where women were debarred from getting an education, etc. Now that is culture. That is the culture of that particular nation. That have nothing to do with how a woman was created, the energies that she was created with, who the divine creator see a woman as. That has nothing to do with that, right? If we have different cultures that decide to look upon women in that manner, that does not mean you must decide that is how the divine creator look upon women. No, no, no. Because if you was to look at all the different belief systems and look at the role women play, if you go back to Egyptology, Christian, Ifa Orisha, look at the role women play. So clearly, that has nothing to do with the divine creator and how women were created and their role upon this earth, right? Why I say we need to know who we are. When you know who you are as a woman, it gives you a better sense of ownership in terms of who you are and how you're really operating in this life. You will understand, okay, this is who I am. This is the type of energy I possess, right? You move with with assertiveness. I'm not saying that if you're making $10,000 and your husband making $100, that you should strut yourself in the home as you are superior, etc. I'm not going there. We're not talking about that, right? I'm talking about you knowing who you are, having that personal relationship with that divine energy, feeling a sense of worthiness, feeling a sense of importance. This has nothing to do with nobody here. And that is our problem. We just bring people in the equation and mix up people and tie up the whole scene. But the relationship is with self inside. See that energy? That's the relationship I'm talking about. Don't involve other people yet, because they have their own battles going on, right? You need to first tap into that energy that you possess, that divine energy, that magical energy, that charismatic energy. Get to know it. Have a relationship with self. Let me just look at my phone and see how things going in terms of again, I don't have the glasses, but I'll give all you the story with that. Right? Saying pleasant evening to Baba Tamba. Right? Such a wonderful gentleman, Baba Tamba Gwindi. Eniela, good evening. Nancy. That lady know me from little thing, eh? Miss Nancy. Hey, look who, Karen Sargent. Good evening. Good evening. Ashanti. We have Didi Smith. Didi Smith is on. Miss Diane. This Didi Smith, it is sit down here. You know. Miss Diane, good evening. Nubia David. She said, oh my gosh, I catch you live. Yes, Charlene. You see the names all you have on Facebook? I call you all by the name I know all you has, eh? Barbie Taylor. Ifa Bemiro. You said you was going to be on and you kept your word. Nice to have you. Stacy Archie, how you going? Jalan Gaspar, that's my ex-schoolmate, eh? Nice, nice. And of course, well, Maria. Thank you all for joining the live. So as we said, women need to know who they are. Women need to know themselves. Women need to take some time out and deal with who they are. Tap into self. Take some time. You know, some of us have a problem with spending time with self. Some of us, I don't know, we seem to have a problem with spending time alone. One can be alone and contented and happy and not be lonely. Eh? Is a difference with being lonely and being alone. Some people have mastered being alone and contented and getting to know more of themselves in opposed to being lonely. Again, you won't get there overnight. Especially if you grow up in a big family or you grow up with plenty people around you. It's difficult, I understand, to be alone. You start to feel lonely. I don't know if you follow me. So you're afraid to be alone because the loneliness will step in. You need to have somebody around you all the time. But, you see, because it is a personal journey, you need to spend time alone. Short as it is, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, right? Meditation. Talk to yourself. Where you see yourself in the next 5, 10 years. Are you happy with where your life is presently? You know, you must have things that you want to talk to yourself about. It doesn't matter how many people you discuss your life with. At the end of the day, it comes back to your decision. Eh? You have to deal with you. It's good to talk with people. It's always good to have meaningful conversation. Always good. But at the end of the day, I like to say, you see when the lights out and the circus closed and all the clowns gone home, you have to deal with you. You have to talk to self, where they have decisions to make, right? And like for me, I used to remember avoiding those moments. I would be busy. I always from one thing to the next. To the point where when I reach home, I'm so tired, it's just to go and sleep. But that'll sketch up with you, you know. Because you can't be going so forever. You cannot keep going like that forever. Remember, I tell you that. You can't keep going like that forever. You know Bob Marley, there's a line in one of his songs. You're running and you're running and you're running away. But you can't run away from yourself. And that is so true. Don't matter how busy you are, how much you're trying to get, you know, involved in different things. You can't keep up with that all the time. There would become a time when you had to take it down. The momentum does drop. And life does hit you different. For example, COVID. COVID fast-tracked the thing, you know. That is what COVID do, you know. It fast-tracked that hit me in my face. What really going on here, boy? Where's my next move? COVID fast-tracked it. But it would meet us anyhow. Each of us would go through that at different intervals in our lives. Right? But what happened now is it run up on some way unexpectedly. But we have to deal with it. Now is good a time as any. So, getting to know who you are, meditation, or simply spending alone time is a good way to start. It's a real good way to start. Whether it's putting on music that you love, going by your favorite place. Well, you know me, I love the water. River or sea, I love the water, right? Spend that quiet time. You'll be surprised. You will be surprised the way your intuition opens up when you spend time alone. Especially if it's a nice, quiet environment. And as I said, it's in an environment that you love. Whether it's the sea, whether it's the river, you'll be surprised the thoughts that come to you, right? You'll be surprised because it's there. But sometimes with so much going on, it's a lot of clutter, you know. So much going on, we can't think. We're not in touch. We're not in touch with self at all. We just go in. And we feel we're doing something. And we ain't really getting any, we're not getting anywhere because what's happening is surface. Things on the surface. That's what's happening. Superficial progress. That's what's happening. But for me, I have proven that real progress happens when you go deep within self, when you go deep within that spiritual essence of you. You get to see things real different to the point where some things that you're fussing about, you say, but But I can't believe me. You're vexed with yourself, but I was fussing with that all the time. What's wrong with me, boy? There are things that do appeal to you. That's when you're getting to know yourself. That's when you're starting to tap into who you are. Have some things that don't appeal to you anymore. Things that some people real tripping over, you be like, okay. It even causing you to batter eye. Again, this happen in stages, right? So that where I might be in my life right now, somebody else will not be there as yet, right? We're going through stages. So this is why I keep saying we have to have patience and we have to keep helping those to strengthen their weak areas. You see your strengths? Use them. And the weak areas, strengthen the weak areas, right? Because what you want is a holistic woman. Nobody's perfect, but you want a holistic feminine being. That's what you want. A holistic person. You must know your weak areas. We all have weak areas. We all have weak areas. But stand strong on your strengths. And that is you're using the strengths to put forward. Because you're strong, right? That is what you're going to put forward and work quietly on your weak areas. And when I mean quietly, behind the scenes now, behind the scenes, whether it is to link with another sister, whatever it takes to strengthen the weak areas, work on it behind the scenes. There are a lot of motivational books. So many things we could do to strengthen our weak areas. But don't leave them weak. There is a saying, what you don't use, you just lose. Don't doubt that. You see what you don't use, you surely will lose. So if you feel, look, I ain't really too keen on whatever, yes, you know you have some shortcomings, but you ain't really care, it's not going to go away. That is for sure. It's not going to go away. It will get worse. So then what it does is impacts your whole life. It impacts your whole life, which is counterproductive to your existence. Because ideally what we want to know, as I said, is build on who we are. We want to get into that spiritual essence, right? Tap into the feminine essence. Tap into that spiritual, magical part of us, right, that we were created with, and build on that. That is what will strengthen our physical existence. That is what makes you strong. We like to put the thing back to front. Some people believe they have a strong physical presence, and the spiritual essence, they're really too keen on that. The reverse is what needs to happen. When you are strong within your spiritual self, and I'm saying spiritual self and not religion, when you are strong within your spiritual self, you know who you are, you can tap in to self. That is what strengthens the physical presence. So that warrior Empress, the artist, what really keeps warrior Empress afloat and dealing with day-to-day life is the strong spiritual essence. You better believe that. You better believe that. And I know if that was weak, all fall down. All fall down. So sometimes when you see a woman and you say she's strong, boy, it's because of that strong spiritual essence, right? That was strengthened through the years, that you keep building on, that you keep building on. One way to strengthen that spiritual essence is to be true to ourselves. And I think I would have mentioned this last week. Being true to self. If you live in a world of make-believe, if you live in a world of... Now, all of us wear masks, eh? Let me be real. Everybody does wear masks. Some wear it more than some. But every one of us, I say so, does wear some form of mask, right? I am sitting here talking to you and I'm as real as I think I should be with you. But of course, there are things that I wouldn't just spill 100% all my guts here on social media. I mean, come on, after all, you know, right? So I'm holding back some things. So we all have this little mask. As I said, some people have it more than some. Some people, Hollywood, have jobs waiting for them. If you're going down that road, you will have a problem tapping into who you are. Because you're not coming into touch or coming into contact with the real person, you know. You're not coming into contact with that person at all. You're coming into contact with the title or the image. You might be a doctor, a lawyer. Those are just titles, societal images. But the energy behind what really constitute that person. When we live mask up, we live pretentious, we live in fear, our lives built on lies, you're very distant from that person I'm talking about. You're very distant. And why some people like that? Why I would have been like that back then? Again, so much contributes to having that type of lifestyle. A lot has to do with how we were brought up. A lot has to do with that. Some people, their family life was very open. Some people tell me, hey, we used to talk about anything. I could talk anything with my mother. I could talk anything with my father. I didn't have that relationship, right? So when you grow up like that, you're not so sure how to deal with yourself, you know. You're not so sure because you don't really have a footing. You're just living, you're getting big, you're growing, yes, and you're pulling from different parts in society, from different people, different environments. But you see, home, where you're supposed to be properly nurtured, if you don't get a foundation there, it could really have some problems, could really have some bad effects on your life. Nothing that cannot be fixed, but I'm saying it could affect you in a way that could have problems in your adult life, right? Some girlfriends of mine say, I couldn't go and talk to my mother about boyfriend and thing. Nah, boy. Nah, boy. What? Boyfriend? You know, they couldn't have that open relationship. Or if they didn't have it with their mom, maybe their dad. Or if they had it, you know, it was never both parents. It was never both parents. They never felt that freeness in the home to talk about anything. And I ain't so old, but I ain't old at all. Back then, you couldn't really talk. Parents used to look at that as you're being rude. Hush your mouth. You really didn't have a voice, you know. If you're in the 50s, 50 years and over, late 40s, you go in and have conversation with your parents about your opinion? Hardly. Hardly. You're lucky if you grew up in a home like that. You're real lucky. Parents saw that as you're out of place. You're out of place. Hush your mouth. You understand? So, you had that fear. So, it's either you talking to a friend outside or somebody on the outside that you feel could give you some advice and guide you on this life. A lot of times, we choose the wrong people. We used to choose the wrong people. Right? Because how much they would really care for us. Their family, some people was lucky enough to have good friends who would, you know, guide them along the way. But a lot of times, let's face it, we fell into bad company. Right? Because they may really check for us. They may really check for me. But, you know, you're looking for that guidance. You're looking for that information because you don't want to go home with that. You don't want to go to mommy with that. Or daddy with that. And that was the genesis of many women, their problems started right there. Going to the wrong people for guidance. So they never really got in touch with who they are. Things happen, early pregnancy, a lot of pitfalls that is late in their life. They really start to mash brakes a little bit and start to say, nah boy, I need to tap into, you know, this can't just be my life. Some, not all, because we have those that fell through the cracks and never got the opportunity to tap into themselves. They had bad experiences and they weren't that strong to decide, well, I go pull back from this one. Some people, not that strong, they just give up, fall through the cracks. Those who pull back, like myself, and decide, nah man, I had to fix this. You realize when you start to do things differently and fall in love with yourself, it's a whole new world that opens up. Yeah? Let me check the live. You remember I said, and I hope it's this that Miss Diane talking about. I said, for me, I don't condone my children. I have 2 grown children. Well, my daughter is married, right? And my son lives abroad. He lives abroad. But when they didn't reach that stage yet, I said, I ain't want no man or no woman sleeping in my house. That is my way, right? Again, that impacted on me from my upbringing. But I have very good reasons why I don't really like that. Again, that is me in my house. So Diana is saying that ain't happening in her house either, right? Because it could cause problems. For me, as I said, my opinion, there are some people, I have girlfriends who do it and they say, oh God, so I'm to that, so where would them go? So they're big enough, they could have man, they could have woman, so where would them go? Let them come. Everybody different. I cannot go to a next person's house to tell them how to run their home. I'm a bold and a brave, but I ain't so brave, right? Likewise, I don't expect anybody to come to my home to tell me how to run my home. We could talk, you could give an opinion, but I do what's best for me. What I think will bring the best outcome. And that is what I did with my 2 children. And, well, of course, they're on their own now, right? So, my train of thought, right? I spoke about some of us, the decisions we made was so off and so bad that sometimes we didn't pull back from it. Some people didn't pull back from it. Instead, they just go deeper and deeper. Some were able to pull back, right? But how do you pull back from that? Sometimes you have good friends around you who can motivate you. If you're lucky to have genuine friends now who can motivate you and say, hey, you're in the worst. So what if you make a child young, all right, you're in the worst. You could pull back from that. If you have friends who are there to support you, fine, you can pull back, right? If you have people to guide you, family support. If you have that family support who's standing there with you, you could pull back. As a woman, they say woman don't fall, and that is true. It's only somehow we just throw down ourselves. But woman don't fall, right? Because again, we were created with that energy to what should I say? We could make something out of nothing, boy. And talking about making something out of nothing, you see, my mother, I could use my mother as an example. That woman could make something out of nothing, right? I see my mother do some kind of magic, you know, with little or nothing, you know, right? But there are other women, I'm sure, that you know of your own parents, making something out of nothing because we got so. That's who we are. That's who we are. Don't let anybody tell you different. That's who we are. It's just a lot of us not tapping into those gifts. We're not tapping in. We're not exploring the essence that we were created with. Instead, we had bad experiences. We've been around a set of people who counterproductive to our existence, and we ain't catch ourselves yet. Some of us ain't catch ourselves yet. Once you have life, once you are alive, you could bounce back. Once you are alive, you have the breath of life in you, you could bounce back, of course. Of course. Right? You could make it in whatever field. Just be realistic with your goals. Just be realistic and chart your course. Patience is what you need. Patience. Patience. There was situations sometimes I used to ask myself, boy, I go get out of this one. I wonder if I could fix this, boy. And with patience, and again, having people around me who are motivating me, I could look back now and laugh. I could look back now and laugh. A downfall a lot of us have. When we reach a certain position, or when we come out from the valley, right, and we on top, a lot of us do not like to extend strength and motivation to others to come out of that valley. A lot of us, a lot of women, you know, that's our downfall. Who was in the valley, once they come out, they act as if they cannot relate to somebody in the valley. And that is another reason why I keep saying a lot of women don't like to reach out to other women. If you're going to help from a position of truly wanting to help somebody, and not help them from reminding them of their circumstances or keep throwing their circumstances in their face. Don't do that. Help from a position of love. Help from a position of, you know, you want to see somebody come out of a situation. I find it's a real good feeling when you are part of someone's journey where you see them come out of a situation that, boy, you had to say, nah, boy. To me, this gives you a real good feeling. That will not take anything away from you. That will not take anything away from you as a female. By helping another female, it would not. I promise you, it would not. I find it is aid your life. That's why I find it helps you. It actually helps you propel your life towards your success. As I said last week, don't cut out your nose to spoil your face. I don't believe in that. So that wisdom must apply when you're assisting. Wisdom must apply. You must, in other words, don't go to the extreme where you ain't good for yourself when you finish. That ain't making no sense, right? That ain't making no sense. But it must involve expending energy. You must expend energy to help. So make up your mind. You might tire feeling a little worn, a little tired, but you're managing the scenes. You have to manage your energy. But to come out of the valley yourself and knowing the problems some females face, and you out now, and it's as if, well, you can relate to someone in the valley. That is not being real, and that is not no sisterly love. You can't talk sisterhood and sisterly love, but that is your attitude. I have seen it many times. For me, if I encounter that again, whilst you would like people to support you, you can't force people. You can't force any other woman to assist you. If I encounter that, I try to keep my corner. Because remember, I may be dealing with something that is already stressful. And to couple with that, it doesn't help your situation. Sometimes people don't even want money, you know. They might be in a situation where they're financially depleted. But it's not always money. Sometimes it's just conversation a sister wants. Just conversation. Because sometimes, you know, like, it's so much they're dealing with. They block. They can't think. So you might bring it home to them differently and they say, but I wasn't thinking about that, boy. I wasn't thinking of doing that. Simple things. When people going through stress, when females going through stress, listen, they shut down, you know. I remember as Maria was saying with the pain spa, she said, Warrior, sometimes all we want is 2 hours, you know. Just 2 hours. If you have 2 hours of good conversation, 2 hours of motivating conversation, you would be surprised what that do. It does something that, you know, it allows, how to put it, boy? Like it allows a fresh adrenaline to flow. Where you're excited now to get up the next morning to start life differently. Just because somebody spoke to you differently about your life. And they didn't do what we spoke about in terms of helping you from a position where they had to be reminding you of your circumstances. That don't motivate nobody. Never motivated me. I can't believe the time is up, you know. The man showing me he watches. Right? So, next week, we're going to have a guest, a very exciting female who is a performance artist. Because the topic we're going to talk about, motherhood. Motherhood, that's a big topic. I doubt we could do that in one session, probably 2 sessions. Because not just motherhood, make a child, grow up a child, nah. Apart from that, we're talking about the pains of motherhood. Not just making the child either. I'm talking about relationships. Yeah? For example, I can tell you, I'll give you a little insight. There was a time I wasn't speaking to my mother. I never used to talk to my mother that carried me for 9 months. There was a time we weren't on speaking terms. I carried so much bitterness and anger for my mother. That's what I'm talking about. Motherhood, all that it entails. Of course, now that I'm a darling, right? But how do we heal from that? How did I heal from that? And I know there are a lot of people out there who have strained relationships with their mothers. A lot of people don't speak to their mothers for whatever reason. But I ain't going to go into that no further because my time is up. And Next week we having a guest. So we would have real open conversation about those type of relationships, the good, the bad, and the ugly as it pertains to motherhood. Yeah? So thank you again, all of you who took time out of your busy schedule, right, to be with me on this live. Thank you again so much. I really appreciate it. And don't forget, Paint Spa. Check out Maria's Paint Spa. There's a Facebook page, just log in. Or give her a call or WhatsApp her 344-9898. She's having a wonderful event come Republic Day, that's the 24th of September. And if you're having a fundraiser or even thinking about it, right, give her a call. She'll help you along the way, because that's what we are here for. COVID is not for you, and it's not for me, or it's for the lady down the road and it ain't passing by me. COVID affecting everybody. So we're here to help each other as women. So thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your Friday. See you next week. Take care.